this is something I kindly ask you. So remember to me to record the lecture. I know that I must do, but sometimes I forget it. Okay, so now we are also recording the lecture, and this is the first slide of our course. As I said, this is Module B of the course Furniture Technology, and Module B is entitled Materials and Technologies. What are we going to do today? A short introduction of myself. I think it's useful for you to know who I am, what is my background, and so on. Then we will see what are the objectives of our course. We will stay together for in total 48 hours. So it's a long time, and we have to consider what we will get finally as improvement of our knowledge or our skills. Then what will be the program, how the lectures are structured and organized, something about the teaching material and literature, the exam. Okay, I have a proposal for you, and we will also try to do something together today just to see if what I've prepared can be used for the exam. Then I would like to know you. Unfortunately, we cannot meet face by face. I don't like this. I think it's a problem also for you. But just tell me something about yourself, just to start to know you, to listen your voice, and something more, of course. Finally, something related with some rules that we have to follow during all our lectures. So let's go on. This is me. This is also the pictures of myself. I'm a chemist, so I'm familiar with molecules, atoms, the chemical composition of the materials, the properties deriving from the composition, and so on. But you can relax. Our course will be not a course of chemistry. We will use something about this science, but not too much. What I like of chemistry is that if you know the composition, if you know how materials are made, you can derive many information about the properties, the possible uses, the possible problems, defects, how to improve them, and so on. So this is something that will be a sort of continuous line, baseline in our course. We will every time we will consider how materials are made, and then we can derive all the rest from their composition. I'm a contract professor since 2008 at the University of Trieste, but my main activity is not this. I'm the managing director of CATAS, There is a video. The next slide is a video presenting what is CATAS. It's a laboratory where we test everything related with furniture, starting from the raw materials, woods, coatings, adhesives, fittings, and so on. But also we are specialized in testing the finished product. So it means chairs, tables, cabinets, and so on. But the video I have prepared will tell you more than my words. So what I'm expert of, if I can say that I'm an expert, it's all the knowledge related with my work, with my daily work. So I know a lot about wood-based panels, coatings, adhesives, covering materials, plastics, and many others. Materials that are used in the furniture sector, especially. And again, I know very well how they are composed or made, and I know also something about their properties, their possible uses, their problems, defects, and so on. I'm involved in education, not only here at the University of Trieste, but also my institute organizes seminars, courses, quite often, and I'm frequently asked to teach to the companies of this sector what I know about not only the materials themselves, but also something related with the rules, the standards that are affecting this sector. I am also working in the standardization committees, not only here in Italy, but also at European and international level. We will consider what are standards and why they are so important for the industry. I've been involved in many research projects also with some institutes around the world, and I've done also some published some books related with the subjects I know, particular coatings, adhesives, and the materials used in the wood sector. The books are published, some of them only in Italian, some others are also in English. Let's go on. This is me, and as I said before, this is the institute where I work. It's the biggest institute in Europe for the testing of raw materials and finished product in the furniture sector. We have a chemical lab for the analysis of many parameters, mainly related with the safety of the raw materials. Here you see some mechanical tests on leather, on chair bases. Here we test the resistance to furniture surfaces, to common liquids used every day. Some tests to verify the adhesion of the coatings, resistant to scratches, steam, heat, as you can see here. We carry out roughly 50,000 tests every year, not only for the Italian industry, but also for companies of other countries, corrosion tests, fire tests. And here is the laboratory where we test the finished products, simulating the everyday use. Okay, that was the part that I think could be interesting also for you. Normally, during the normal lectures, the normal year without the COVID-19. Normally, we organize also some visits to some companies and also to CATAS. Unfortunately, last year and also this year, this is not possible. So I'm really sorry, because it's normally good to have something from the theory that we can directly see in practice in the production line, or we could also see something here in CATAS, because as you have seen, we really tested the properties of the material. So we were able to learn something about them. Then we could also see directly in the laboratory how to test them, what are the results, what are the properties, and so on. Unfortunately, we cannot do this, but in any case, you have an open invitation to CATAS when the situation will be better in the future. Okay, then this is again me. Here you can see some possible way to contact me. The email address, the phone of my office, and my mobile phone. For any question, do not hesitate to contact me. The best way is the email, of course, simply because I can answer you also, for example, in the evening when I'm not working, I'm not involved in the daily problems I have here. But also a telephone call could be good. The best time is during lunchtime or after 5 o'clock in the evening. So you can also use the telephone for especially for urgent problems, if there are. What are the objectives of our course? I've already said something. We will play with this idea of knowing how the materials are made and deriving the consequences of their composition in terms of performance, possible uses, how to improve them, how to protect them, defects, remedies, and so on. How is made will not consider only the composition of the materials, the chemical composition. It's part of the story, but it's not the only property that we will consider. Very often the morphology and the way in which, for example, the material are structured, are combined together. This will tell us something to, as I said, to derive something about the properties and so on. So we will consider in particular the furniture sector and the material used in the furniture sector. But this idea of starting from the base, how the material is made, can be generalized for every sector. So. Of course, I'm an expert in the furniture field, but the same criteria, the same way of thinking can be used for other sectors. What I would like to teach, really teach, is to always go back to the basis. If you know and if you are strong in the basis, you can solve not all the problems, but the majority of the problems we will face during your working activity. If you don't have the basis, okay, you can use what normally is called experience, but experience is not enough. You have to know the first concepts, the first basics of the story, and then you can derive all the rest. If you don't have this knowledge, everything can be difficult, and experience can help you, but very often can also drive you in the wrong way. We will see many examples of the wrong ideas that the people has about some material, in particular about wood, which drive them in a lot of problems, also of economic nature. So this is the base of what I would like to really teach to my students. The program we will start with wood. And I wrote here a simple question: why still wood? Normally, people thinks that wood is an ancient material. Today, we are able to produce engineered materials, which means that we can decide which properties we would like to have at the end of the process of production of a new material. We know that wood is derived from the nature, and so we can change its properties during the activity of the tree. So finally, we have a material that has certain properties which that do not depend on our needs, but we have to use this material as it is, as the nature has done it. But we will see that the wood market is increasing a lot during the last years. The main reason is that wood is, by definition, a sustainable material. This word, sustainability, I think you have listened many times in publication, during TV programs, newspapers, also our politicians very often use this word, sustainability, sustainable future, sustainable economy. We will see what's the real meaning of sustainability. But wood is as I said before, by definition sustainable. Why? The reason is very simple. Because we can produce wood. We can plant seeds, and from the seeds, after some years, we have a tree, and the tree, from the tree we can obtain new wood. This is not possible with the majority of the other materials, in particular with plastics, as you know. Plastic derived from petroleum that we cannot produce, or in principle we could produce, but we have to wait for millions of years to use the petroleum. So wood is today the material not of the past, but is really the material of the future. And I will try to convince you about this with some figure, with some ideas, some uses, new uses about wood. In any case, presumably, I don't know where you are, but if you look around you, for sure there are many objects that are produced with wood. Presumably, your desk is done with a wood-based panel. If you have a pencil in your hands, a pencil derived from wood. If you are writing some notes on paper sheets, the paper, as we know, derived from wood. Okay, but we will see that there are also many other objects we use every day that derive from this important material. The process is always the same. We will consider the morphology, so the shape of this material, anatomy, then the chemical composition, and from this analysis we will derive the main properties of this material. An appendix will be dedicated to the modified wood. Modified wood is wood, of course, but which composition was modified, as written here, by chemical or physical processes. And what is obtained from these processes is a new material, a different material with a different composition. normally, this process such processes are done to improve some of the properties of this material. I think it's an interesting part because it will put in evidence that also research is possible on wood. There are many research centers around the world studying how to modify this material with some chemicals, with some processes, physical, thermal, and others that we will analyze. Okay, so wood it's I think one of the most interesting part of our course, especially because normally my students do not know this material, and I hope we will also find some interesting surprises considering, as I said, how it's made and what can be done with such material. The second part will be dedicated to wood-based panels. I think you know particle boards like this. You see in the pictures here, or plywood, fiber boards, and many others. A first figure here tell us that the market of wood-based panels is increasing in all continents. We have reached the 400 million cubic meter per year. It's a very big number if you consider how big could be a production of such materials that are used not only for the production of furniture but also for the building sector. Solid wood panels, particle board, fiber boards, plywood, and also an appendix dedicated to a serious problem affecting all the furniture sector. It's the formaldehyde emission. It's a really serious problem because all these panels are produced with an adhesive used to bind for example, in this case, the particles are bonded together by an adhesive, and this is the adhesive emits formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is carcinogenic, and so you can understand why this problem is so important all over the world. And there are many and many rules in different countries to protect the population from the emission of such dangerous substance. If you have your desk made with particle boards, in this precise moment, you are breathing some formaldehyde, which is emitted by the desk you have in front of you. The risk is related with the quantity. So if the quantity is low, there is no risk, or the risk is very limited. If the emission is high, the risk is also high. So this is a serious problem that we will consider in this appendix dedicated specifically to this problem. How many square meters of surface, of panel surface, we can derive from 1 cubic meter. Normally, the thickness of the panels used are roughly around 2 centimeters. So you are engineer, so I think that better than me, you can calculate how many square meters we can obtain from 1 cubic meter. Any answer? Are you there?
50.
Sorry?
50 square meters.
I don't hear your voice. Can you repeat?
50.
50 what? 50
square meters.
You are partially right.
Okay. Only the top of the surface.
The top, yes, but considering that every panel has 2 surfaces, you have to multiply by 2, so you have 100 square meters. Okay. Can you confirm?
Yes. Then maybe you have to add also the sides.
Yes, you are right, but the side we will consider later on. In any case, if we go back, if we go back, we have 400 million cubic meter per year. So if you multiply by 100, you can obtain the square meters of wood-based panels that must be covered, because all panels must be coated in some way or covered with other materials like plastic foils or laminates and so on. So the market of covering materials is incredibly wide, because you see here that the panel inside that, as I said, must be covered not only on one face but on the two faces. So the amount of materials that are used to cover the panel surfaces is incredibly high. Millions and millions of square meters of foils like this that are used to cover the panels with some glue in here in the middle. So also the market of adhesive is really wide. So the third part of our course will be dedicated to covering materials. As I said before, an incredibly wide field of different materials like veneers. Veneers are thin foils of wood. There are also veneers. This we will consider during our course, deriving from what is called multilaminar wood. Multilaminar wood is sort of reconstructed wood, very interesting, because from very cheap wood species, like, for example, poplar. This company that produces multilaminar wood, they can produce whatever wood species you want to need. So from poplar, they can produce oak, cherry, Doucier. So they can imitate rare species starting from very cheap ones. But we will consider later on, of course. Impregnated papers, these are the most used because they are very, very cheap. Like the example you see here in the pictures, there are these coils of paper imitating imitating wood. It's a paper, normal paper, impregnated with the sun raysing, just to protect the paper from possible contact with liquids in particular. Laminates are a combination of different layers of impregnated papers, but we will consider during our course, of course. Plastic foils. It's a very, as I said, wide sector with different material, different properties, different also problems. And as our friend said before, we don't have only the faces to cover, but also the lateral surfaces. So for every cubic meter of wood, in principle, we have 4 square meters of lateral surface to cover. And the materials used to cover the lateral surfaces are called edges. And also here we will discover another word. The edging of panels is a special woodworking step which is carried out with special machines, with special adhesives, and it's really a sector of high specialization. Here in the picture you see on the right, there is the picture of a relatively new system that is used to cover the lateral surfaces of the wood-based panel using laser light source. There are also machines using a plasma. Plasma is the 4th state of the matter. So the technology in this field is it's interesting. It's very advanced. So I think also this part of our course will be, I hope, a little surprise for many of you, discovering that for principle, a simple operation, just covering the edge of the panel, there are very, very advanced technologies that are used in the furniture sector. Okay, the part 5, there are 6, so we are very close to the end of our program. Will be dedicated to adhesives. Here I have put a question: why the glue elements stick together? this is a question that normally people does not consider, because we are used to use adhesives from every day, from where we were a child, but also in the daily life. Adhesives are part of our life, but normally we don't know exactly how they work. We put some glue between two objects, we press, and they stay together. We will discover why they stay together, and what are also the possible choices we have in the selection of different types of adhesives. So the adhesion theory, that for me is always fascinating, considering, as I said before, why two elements put together, they continue to stay together. It seems normal, but there is some chemistry and some physics behind this, and then we will, as always, consider their composition and the different types used in the furniture sector, with the evidences of the properties, defects, and so on. The same we will do for the coating materials. Also in this case, we will understand how they pass from the liquid state to the solid state. Also, this seems normal when we apply a coating. We know that we have to wait some hours, in some cases some days, in order to allow this process from liquid to solid, but we don't know exactly what happened, and we will discover that there are some simple processes, but in other cases there are also some very, very complex chemical processes involved. There are some coatings, in particular the UV or that are coatings which harden in consequence of the exposure to UV light. And this produces some chemical reaction inside the coatings, which in few seconds change the state from liquid to solid. There are plants using, as I said, UV lamps, also of new generation with LED lamps and so on. So also the part of coating materials, considering always this concept of analyzing how they are made and what happened during their use. I think it's something new and something interesting for my students, I hope. Okay, this is the program. How our lectures will be organized. As I said, we have 48 hours in total, and the credits you get, or you can get when you pass the exam are 6. I would like just to remember that okay, that no, but the exam is considered later on. So at the moment, this is enough. We have 2 lectures per week. The first is this one on Wednesday from 4 o'clock up to 6 o'clock. But it depends. We can also finish before, depending on the subject. Normally, for these remote lectures, I normally prefer not to prolong the lecture for too much time. If the lecture is done face to face, it's different. We can discuss. We can play with the blackboard. But having this remote tool, my experience is that after 1 hour and a half, it's difficult to maintain the concentration. So let's see what is going to happen. I'm always open to any suggestion from you, of course. If you prefer to divide the lectures in small parts, smaller parts, I'm open to your proposal, because I'm here for you, not for me. So if I can help you, and I can help you, I will do, of course. How the lecture will be organized? Initially, we will normally consider where we are, so a sort of review of the program, something about the previous lectures. If some questions are still to be considered, and so on, then we will have, of course, the lecture. In some lecture, we will also have this terminology section. Normally, this is appreciated by the students, because during the lecture, I introduce many or some terms that are not familiar with you, and so during this terminology session, we can reconsider these special terms I've used, and this, I think, helps the total comprehension of the lecture. So not every time, but I don't know, every 2-3 lectures we can have this terminology session, reconsidering all the terms or the special terms I've used in the previous days. You will see that there is this option for you to prepare a presentation. If you prepare a presentation, you can have the advantage of learning more, of course, but also to have some extra marks for your exam. But before your presentation, before you prepare your presentations, I would like to give you some tips to prepare your presentations. I do this because sometimes I see that the students, but not only the students, do some mistakes in their presentation. So I'm 60 years old. I have an experience of presenting different subjects, and so I simply would like to tell you what is my experience in preparing and presenting technical subjects. Two lecture. At the end of the lecture, for example, on Friday, we can dedicate 20 minutes to my tips. It's not part of the official program, but only some tips for you that you can consider or not. But I would like to do it. Normally, the students they accept this optional activity. Normally, they prepare the presentations, and this can be done normally after Easter during the last 5-6 lecture. There will be the possibility for you to present your study, your little research to all the other, to me of course, and also to all the other students. This is how our lectures will be organized. The optional activity, as I said, is the presentation of a subject related to the course, of course. For example, an investigation of new materials, new technologies, or something you may like, or related to especially to the first part of my course. The rules are that I like that you work in pair to two students, so you can improve your English, you can improve your public speaking. Of course, I'm always ready to help you to find the right subject, and also to help you to find the material and so on. The final result will be the production of presentation, 10-15 minutes, not more. And as I said, the last benefit you can get are some extra marks to be added to the final vote, up to 3 marks if your presentation is done very well, and also your oral presentation is perfect. So this means that if you do the exam and you get, for example, the mark, I don't know, 25, you can add up to 3 marks. So in the worst case, only 1 mark. So from 25, you will get 26. But if you did a very great job, you can reach the 28 mark. I hope this can be interesting for you, not only for the marks, of course, but also to create more movement in our course. We can also work together for some time. So we will create also some relation between us if you accept to do this this work. Here there are some examples of the presentation carried out during the last years. This was interesting. I only want to read the title: Furniture Surfaces and COVID-19. You know that one of the possible contaminations derived from surfaces. So if we touch a surface that was contaminated by the virus, then we put the hand close to our eyes or to our mouth, we can be infected. So there are some surfaces that prevent this possible contamination. That was interesting. That can be also repeated this year because unfortunately now we are more expert about the virus, about how to counteract the possible infections. Recycling wood was another interesting presentation. Was also this one was presented last year. Bio-based polymers. Polymers are the components of plastic, for example, of coatings, of adhesives, and today the chemistry industry, the chemical industry is looking for sustainable material. So polymers deriving not from petroleum but from vegetable sources, for example, seeds and so on. Also, this one can be also a subject for this year. There are always new products, new tendencies, new standards. So it's something which a vision toward the future. Wood for music instruments, interesting. I play the guitar, so this was something also related with my hobby. So interesting because also behind this subject, there is an interesting word of the different type of woods, where to cut it, so on. Transparent wood. Strange, but it's possible to produce wood elements which are completely transparent. Nanobiotic. So this is something again. It's part of basic research. There is this picture. It's not real, where you can see the trees that are illuminating the street, the town. It's not a real picture, but there are studies in order to obtain vegetables which are able to produce the light in the evening. Okay, like in this picture you see here. Molded fiber products. This was more specific. Again, the fiber can derive from wood. Wood and acoustic again. So these are some examples, but normally the students, you are young and your mind is completely open to imagine different subjects, and every year some students are able to surprise me presenting something completely new also for myself. This is something I really like, to work with you, and also it's a part of the course where I learn from you. It's fantastic for me. Teaching material and literature. I have already sent to you the link for a Dropbox folder where you can find the slides, and where I will put also the video after the lecture. I will will download the video, and I will place the video in this folder. I think that everything works. If there are some problems, you can ask me. And it's not mandatory, but I've published some years ago this book that I have published because there was nothing similar. When I started my course in 2007, 2008, it was really difficult for me to find the material for the course. And so I made this big effort and finally I've decided to publish a book simply because there is nothing similar on the market, nothing presenting the materials of the furniture sector. So okay, but as I said, it's not mandatory. It's only the reference where you can find, I think, what I am going to teach during the lecture, and also something more, of course. Okay, the exam. How to organize the exam? The normal way is to have a final oral exam using Teams, of course. But in principle, we can also try to have two intermediate written tests. If you are interested, I can try to send to you immediately after the end of this lecture. I can try to send to you a simple module derived from Google, where you can simply reply to the questions that are written in this module. In this case, I simply ask you names of name, where you come from, and I don't remember what else. If it works, we can discuss during the next lecture if this could be a possible solution. So after the first part of my course, in principle, we can organize this written exam, and the way will be that I will send you this module with open question. You have to answer to the questions, and simply clicking on a special part of the module, you will send it back to me. I have tried with an Italian school last year, and it seemed it works. In principle, it's right that you can have some material around you, some books, some notes, but considering that the question are open question, I've seen that if the students didn't study, they fail the exam. So it's not possible, for my experience, to pass the exam without studying before, even if it's a test that you do at home. In principle, you have the possibility to use also internet, but believe me, it doesn't work. So if you agree, I can immediately after the end of the lecture send an email to you with this example of possible test, and then you can fill it and send it back to me. And next time we will decide what to do. Remember the marks derived from the optional activity up to 3, as I said before. And this is also important, the final mark will be the average of of Module A of Professor Seriani and Module B. So this means, for example, if you get 20 with my exam and 22 with the exam of Professor Seriani, your final mark will be 21. Is the average between the two marks. The normal question is what happens if I get 22 with you and 21 with Professor Seriani? The final mark will be rounded to the upper value. So if you get 22 with me and 21 with Professor Seriani, your final mark will be 22. It's all right? And then I would like simply to listen your voice. Tell me what you want, just your name, surname, your background, if you know something about wood and furniture or not, if you have any expectation, what about the exam, if you could consider that the division into parts. What about the optional material? But or simply say, hi, prof. Who wants to start? Albano, Francesco, can you say something?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Francesco Albano. I live in Turin. I graduated last summer at Politecnico di Torino in industrial production engineering. And I don't know anything about wood and related. So nothing.
Okay. If you have already an idea for the optional material for the exam or not, it doesn't matter. We can discuss next lecture.
I don't have any idea, to be fair.
Okay. So please open your microphone and speak. I don't want to ask each of you.
My name is Tom Penner. I'm from Lemgo, and I've did my bachelor thesis in a company that manufactures chairs. So that was maybe the slightest I have to do with wood, and I'm looking forward to the course.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, my name is Ronja Kesting. I also live in Germany, in Lemgo, and I also did my bachelor in industrial engineering, and I don't have any experience with wood.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, Professor.
Evening.
My name is Yusra Faras. I'm from Morocco, but currently I'm living in Lemgo, Germany. I have a mechanical engineering background, so honestly, I don't have any background about wood industry. So that's what I'm looking forward in your in this subject.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Lina Lotte Kramer. I'm also living in Lemgo. I did my bachelor degrees in logistics and in industrial engineering. So the only thing I know about wood is that you need special transportation trucks. Love them.
Okay, yes, you're right. Thank you.
Yes, good evening, Professor.
Okay.
My name is Zinzile Makanda. I'm from Zimbabwe, but I'm currently in Germany as well. I have a background in industrial and manufacturing engineering. I've actually worked mostly with steel, so this would be dwell into a new area in terms of wood as a material, and I'm keen to learn more about it and how it can be manipulated. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, Professor.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is me, Ujjwal. I am currently here in Lemgo, Germany. I come from Nepal and I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering. So basically, I don't have any experience related to the field of wood. So it will be a great opportunity to learn about this topic.
I like this enthusiasm for wood. Thank you.
So good evening, Professor. Also from my side, I'm Janis Stadtmann, also living in Lemgo, Germany right now. And I did my bachelor degree in wood engineering. So I basically have a bit experience in working with wood, but I'm also excited to learn something new and get some new or other impressions as well. So very excited to start the lectures soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Clara Meyer-Brücker. I'm also from Lemgo, and as Janis said before, I also studied wood engineering in Lemgo, so there's a bit of wood experience.
Thank you. The connection was not very good, but in any case, I was able to understood what you say. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Francesco. I'm from Padua, and I study at the University of Trieste. I have no background about the wood, but I really enjoy to study it and to know how to perform and to better utilize.
Thank you.
Good evening, Professor. I'm Alberto Caronti. I currently live near Pordenone. I have graduated in naval engineering, so I have no background about the wood, but a nice argument for the presentation maybe could be some naval uses of wood.
Oh yes, interesting, very interesting. Yeah, also because it is still used a lot in the naval industry. So yes, good idea.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Frederick Meyer. I'm also from Germany, in the north of Germany, and I did my bachelor degree also in Lemgo. And yeah, I have a background in industrial engineering, and yeah, I'm really like to expand my knowledge, especially in the field of wood, because this is a field where we don't have any courses in our bachelor degree. But yeah, I think it's yeah, for me especially interesting, because in our region we have lots of companies out of the wood industry. So yeah, I'd like to yeah, expand the knowledge in this field. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frederick.
Good evening. I am Maria Paola. I'm from Reggio Calabria. My background is in civil and environmental engineering, but I am a little experienced with the wood materials because my family have a small manufacturing business in the production of furniture in wood, but I'm now more practical, so I'm very interested in your subject.
Thank you, Maria Paola.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Barcelona. I've done mechanical engineering before, and I have no knowledge in wood, so I'm looking forward to learn in this course.
Thank you, Anna.
Good evening, Professor.
Good evening.
My name is Amritpal Singh, and I'm basically from India, but right now I'm in Italy. I did my graduation in mechanical engineering, And during that course, in the second semester, I had practical labs for industrial workshop, and carpentry workshop was also a part of it. So I had a little exposure about the carpentry, that course, and I am looking forward into your subject to know more about the possibilities in this field. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if other students.
Good evening, Professor. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good evening, Professor and my colleagues. My name is Yazan. I come from Jordan. I am now staying in Lemgo for the PEM Masters. I have a Bachelor in Mechanical Engineering, and I'm looking forward for this course and for the wood technology also.
Okay, thank you, Yazan.
Yeah, good evening, Professor. Good evening, all friends. My name is Safna Prandaka. I'm from Indonesia, but currently I'm living in Detmold. It's near Lemgo for this PEM master program. I finished my bachelor in industrial engineering, and I don't have any experience for this wood material. But the subjects will be a good knowledge, will be a more at my experience more for this furniture technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hi, my name is Jana. I'm in Pordenone, and I graduated at the University of Bologna in industrial engineering. I have no experience in wood field, and so I'm very interested in it.
Thank you also for your enthusiasm for wood. Okay.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
I am Ayşenur Demirbaş. I'm from Turkey. Currently, I live in Italy, Pordenone. I did my bachelor degree in electrical engineering, so I'm quite unfamiliar with this wood technology and related topics. I worked in glass tempering, tempered glass processing for almost 2 years. So I would like to have also knowledge about wood and technologies. I'd like to have broaden my knowledge about that.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Jan Rams, and I'm from Germany, in the near of Lemgo as well. In my bachelor thesis, I worked with 3D printing processes, and I'm still working on that. But so far, I don't have any knowledge about the wood technology. And so I'm very interested, because I think in the future we will have to do more with wood, especially in the house building sector. And so I'm very interested to learn more.
Thank you, Jan. For what I know, in Lemgo, there were also some studies using this technique, 3D manufacturing with not wood, but composite material deriving from wood. So, okay. Someone else?
Hello, Professor. My name is Zarmagan Rauf. I'm from Pakistan, currently residing in Germany. I did my bachelor's in industrial engineering. I don't have any experience of wood before, but I found it interesting from today's lecture. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry.
Go on.
Okay, thank you. I'm Giovanni Anese. I live between Venice and Pordenone, and I graduated in industrial engineering at the University of Trieste. At my bachelor, I study something about steel and plastic, but never about wood. So I think it will be enriching.
Yes, thank you. You will discover that wood is absolutely better than plastic and steel. I'm joking, of course.
Hello, good evening, Professor.
Hello.
I'm Laura. I'm from Colombia. I have my bachelor in industrial engineering. Currently, I'm living in Detmold in Germany, and I also don't have any background or experience in the wood sector.
Okay, thank you, Laura.
Good evening. I'm Francesco Palcic. I'm from Trieste, where I did my bachelor in industrial engineering. So I don't have any experience about wood, and I'm looking forward to take these lectures.
Thank you, Francesco. Have we finished?
Hi, sir. My name is Elodie Wanda. I'm Cameroonian, and I graduated in my bachelor in Trieste in industrial engineering. And now I'm actually really interested in the topic we develop in this course because with friends we are planning maybe in the future to implement a plant where we will transform the woods in Cameroon.
Yeah. Thank you, Elodie. Were you the last, presumably?
No?
Professor, yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Hakan, and I am from Turkey. I graduated from industrial engineering. Actually, I don't have information about this field, but it sounds nice. So I think it will be beneficial. Okay, thank you.
Thank you to you. I think that you were the last because I don't see other microphones open. Okay. So in the meantime, I've sent to you an email with this possible experiment. So after the lecture, you can try if it works, and then next lecture we can consider if this could be a good option for our exam. Let's go on. We are very close to the end. Something about the general rules. The official language is, of course, is English, and in particular, I would like to say to the Italian students that we have to use only this language also in our communication. If you send an email to me, you have to use the English. We know that we are Italian, and the communication could be more easier with Italian, but I think that all the students must be at the same level in the same conditions. So please don't use any other language than English. If you use German or Turkish, I could not understand you, but if you use Italian, I can understand you, but I will not answer you. Only English, please. Questions are admitted at any time. I ask you, I really ask you to interrupt me at any time to ask some questions. It's really difficult to go on speaking 1 hour in front of a video. You can imagine how difficult it is. I like the contact with students. Normally, when I am in the classroom, I walk around the classroom, around the desks, trying to involve the students, and I really suffer for this situation where I can see you, I can ask you anything, I can use the Blackboard. Or show you some samples. I have a lot of samples here that normally I take in the classroom and then I show to the students, so you can also feel the materials in your hands. That is important for me. But in any case, we have to go on with this situation. And questions are, I think, one of the possibilities we have to interact. So please interrupt me more and more, and I really appreciate this from you, because I can see in your eyes if you are interested on what I'm saying, if there is something to repeat and so on. So please help me in this difficult moment that is caused by this virus. Okay, I think that's all. This fortunately we can repeat this experience we did some years ago with the students, and a nice football match in Pordenone. But we really hope that we can as soon as possible to go back to the normal relationship we have with other people. And that's all for today. So we have only now to start on Friday at 1 o'clock. Normally, I prefer to start precisely at 1 o'clock and to finish something before, if the case. But please be on time, connected. I will send you the invitation like today. I will do tomorrow or on Friday morning, in order we can be ready for the lecture. If there are questions, I'm here, or if not, we can close the lecture here. I let open the connection for 5 minutes. If some of you would like to ask me, because there is something that urgently need an answer, I'm here in my office, and I can maintain the connection open for 5-10 minutes. This will be also something that we do during the normal lectures. So after the official end, as we did in the normal lecture, so we finished, but after, when I was putting the computer and the other things in the bag, some students normally come to me and ask me something. So I would like to try to repeat this part of the course that was also important by this open line for 10 minutes. Okay, that's all for today. Just a moment. Now I am interrupting the connection, and okay, just to say, stay safe and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Professor. We will meet you hopefully on Friday.
Okay. Thank you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Professor.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
I have a final question about the teams.
Yes.
How are we going to set up the teams? It will be like randomly, or we have to choose the partner.
You have to choose the partner. It's not my task to choose a partner for you.
Okay.
Normally, I suggest to choose a partner from a different country in order to speak in English.
Yeah, that's true. No, and also because we have been working the same classmates for the last semester.
Uh-huh.
So that would be nice if we can like exchange knowledge with other students.
Yes. You are completely right.
And about the camera for the classes, do we have to keep it on, or is that necessary?
For me, it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And the recordings are in the Dropbox, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was trying to access to the other classes recording, but it was not successful.
No, because this is the first recording, and at the moment there is nothing inside, because this is the first lecture, and so now I have to download this lecture, and I will put it in the Dropbox folder this evening or tomorrow morning.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Bye.
Bye.